Hi, welcome to His and Hers. I'm Deanna,
And I'm
and
back. I'm
he's
David.
back. Yeah, Pixie didn't make for a really good co-host, as we found out.
And I was on vacation.
So,
So, but today's topic, we're going to talk about
slobs.
slobs. All right, American slobs. How have we become such a country of being slobs? Have you ever noticed? I mean, I talk about this with others and friends. You know, you go back to my grandparents. When they went out, it was an event. Everything was an event. When they went on the airlines to travel, when they took car rides somewhere, they dressed up. Men were in coats and ties and shirts and top hats, and women were to the nines in their best dress, and they went out. And over the years now, you got, like just today, we see people, what drives me nuts, people in the gym who wear sandals.
They wear sandals to the gym?
I cannot stand that. Sandals with socks, even. Oh my God. I mean, you're in the gym, you should wear sneakers. That's what sneakers were for, right?
I didn't even think that was like safe in the gym to wear sandals.
It's not, but they don't care because it's easy, it's comfortable, and that's what they want to do. But I mean, getting back to like my grandparents or anybody's grandparents, you know, if you look at that timeline, as society has changed, you know, to my parents, all of a sudden, you know, they kind of dressed down a little bit from what their parents did. And then me, to dress nice, collared t-shirt or collared shirt and a pair of jeans. My dad was like collared shirt, a button-down shirt, no tie, and slacks with shoes. You know, so we've digressed throughout time, I guess you could put it. But why is that? Why has this happened?
I remember being a kid, you'd be sick, and my mom would like go take a shower, get dressed, look nice, clean underwear. We're going to the doctor. Now you're feeling sick, but she'd actually make us dress nice for the doctor despite being sick.
Because you're going out.
We're going out. Nowadays, you see people in their pajamas going grocery shopping.
Welcome to Walmart. Hey,
yeah,
I'm in pajamas.
They're in their pajamas. When did that become the normal? I know in college, the college kids, we wore sweatpants. And I was like, oh, you can tell the college kids because they were in their sweatpants. Well, we graduated college and sweatpants became the norm. We no longer dressed up. And then the norm became pajama bottoms during the day at a business meeting.
Yeah. So my thought, why? That's the big question. Why? And the only answer I have is because it's easy. It's always easy to digress than to take the time, take the effort that is needed to dress to impress. I guess we can call it. But it's just too easy to just throw something on and whatever. And not have a care of what anybody thinks about us, how we're dressed, what we look like, just out.
But you know what? That does affect your mood, how you dress. For the longest time, I am a heavier girl. And growing up, my mother taught me you need to hide yourself. So, dress in layers. When I got older and I started getting a little bit more confident, I started dressing a little more, I guess you could say, risque. Sometimes I admit some of my choices, yeah, I have looked back, like, yeah, I shouldn't have worn that. But my confidence showed. But when I was dressing in layers, I dressed like a slob. And I was not confident at all. And when you dress like a slob, your confidence is low because you don't want anybody to see you. And I think that's part of why you wear the pajamas out in public because you're hiding yourself. You don't want anybody to see you, so you're in your little shell. But when you dress to impress, your confidence is high as a kite. Because when I'm dressed up and I'm out in public, it shows that, you know what, and he can tell you, I've had more people compliment me on my outfits when I'm dressed to impress. And we'll be out with a group of people, and you know who's getting compliments? It's me. Everybody, I love your outfit. I love your dress. You know what? I'm shining. So Everybody wants, oh, I wish I had your confidence. You know what? Dress to impress. You'll be surprised at your confidence. It's going to skyrocket. That's the truth.
Another thing is, growing up, my father always said, tuck in your shirt. Tuck it in. Slobs don't tuck their shirts in. Tuck it in.
Mm-mm.
I tucked my shirt in way after everybody was. I still had my shirt tucked in way after everybody just kind of started untucking theirs. Until I got to a point to where I was dating a girl and her daughter, they kind of cracked jokes at me and everything. And they're like, you're not with today's style. Why do you tuck your shirt in? Because tucking your shirt in is neat and proper. Untucked shirts are sloppy and messy. But today's world, today's society, everything changed, and now it's a totally acceptable. Heck, now you got button downs, collared button downs, untucked. They have commercials about it, and it's like, when did that happen? I mean, or can we all remember wearing your pants where your ass is hanging out because your freaking waistband's around your knees? I mean, where the heck did that ever come from?
Well, there's myths about that, but the kids don't know those myths. It's about prison.
Well, that's what I heard. It's about prison. I don't know for a fact, but why would you want to imitate people from prison?
Because they think it's cool, but they don't know any better. That's the problem.
And you can't say anything, because if you say anything to people, they're a victim. You're privileged, and they're a victim, and you should not hurt their feelings.
Which goes back to last week's podcast, but everybody's a victim.
So no teaching, no education. Everybody just gets a trophy, and I can do what I want and not be criticized for it. Well, someone told me a long time ago, you have the right to wear what you want, but then everybody else has the right to criticize. But not in today's world. Growing up, that's how it was, but I don't know.
You know what's sad is we just accept it. Everybody's like, oh, just, it's okay. Just let it go. It's why do we accept it? Like, why is it like okay to be like, oh, you don't understand. I'm a busy mother. I have all this. I don't have time to just, run a brush through my hair. Okay. I can understand that you're a busy mom, but why is it acceptable? I mean, it takes like a second to run a brush through your hair.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
I think that's where we are in today's society. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything, about anyone or any else, just themselves. And they just care about making sure that they feel good. They don't, like I said, you can't criticize them going out wearing pajama bottoms and friggin' t-shirt, whatever, but can't criticize that, because then you hurt their feelings, and they're a victim. So we have basically allowed sloppiness to just kind of run amok because of no correction.
Yeah, that's true. I was reminded of a saying when I was going through therapy, tidy mind, tidy kitchen. And when your kitchen's a mess, your mind's a mess. There's an old English saying, and for me, it was the bedroom. She said, when your bedroom's a mess, your mind's a mess. Where do you unwind at night and everything comes rushing at you? It's in the bedroom. And she's like, when your bedroom's all nice and clean, it seems like your mind is at rest. So let's roil that back a little bit. So when you're dressing like a slob and you don't care about anything, is your life a mess? It kind of makes you wonder. So are you basically projecting outwards when you don't care about yourself and you let yourself be a mess? You're letting the world know, hey, guess what? I'm a mess. My life's a mess. Everything's a mess. So
How about people that go for job interviews?
Oh,
I mean, I go for a job interview. I wear a suit, dress to impress. Wear a suit, tie, look sharp, confident. This is what I want. So I'm going to show them that I took the time and the effort for myself to present to them a product they want.
Yep.
Now I've heard lots of horror stories of people going for interviews in t-shirts and flip-flops and shorts and
I had somebody come. I actually did interviews when I was a head phlebotomist, and we had somebody show up in a go-go outfit. We're like, did you show up from a club last night?
yeah, I don't get that. And now that we have all this online interview stuff and Zoom, I guess people just have to throw on a shirt and be like, "Hey, I'm dressed to impress." I don't know. I just don't know where this world has just completely like. It's so easy to digress. Just it's too easy, and that's why we're doing it. And that's why, I mean, you think about things like I said, back to our grandparents. Not even that far. You know, my dad, like, you know, he went out. Wasn't a top hat and a coat, but you know, it was a tie, button-down shirt. You know, starts off with a suit, and later on in his life, it was just quit the jacket and just wore the tie, you know, and slacks and shoes. And now, we go out and it's like, you don't have to dress up. You don't have to dress nice. Just go out.
I want to say it's the 90s is when that started because I want to say it was with the grunge. I mean, I could have been earlier because I don't remember in the 80s us dressing real slobbish because I still think people were dressing up. And
Well, a lot more than they are now.
right. And it's I'm starting to think like the 90s with the grunge. And that's when you started getting into the more like grittier.
I was talking to Deanna, I was making a joke, you know, remember that song back in the 90s, you know, we're the kids of America. And I'm like, we're the slobs of America. Whoa. I mean, it's just, I wish we can get back to where people actually, like, I guess pride.
Yeah.
I guess that's the word I'm looking for, pride.
There is no pride anymore.
Where's the pride in people?
There's not. You're right. There is no pride.
I think that's the word I was looking for because we just don't take pride in ourselves that much anymore. Not enough to care to, I guess, display it, show it.
Well, they do if they have the perfect picture to put up on Facebook and Instagram.
Well,
then they show the pride.
Yeah, but that's after all the filters hit and everything like that.
That is true.
And now you have that Google phone with the, oh, you had your eyes blinking. Hold on. Boop. Oh, okay, we had to, there you go. Now they're open. I mean.
Oh yeah, I've seen that ad now for it. Like, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI is wow.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. But, you know, women, thankfully, for the most part, I think there's more women than not. When they go out, they like to look nice. They dress to the nines. Guys, the majority of us don't care. Me, I like to dress nice. Yeah, I've seen shorts, flip-flops, t-shirt. What are you doing here? I just, the women are still ahead of the men in that, to where they will dress up if they're going out because they want to look nice.
I have to agree with that. I remember it was one time, it was around Christmas time, it was a couple years ago. I was treating David to a steakhouse dinner, and I said, you know, we gotta dress up. You know, I'm in a little black dress. He's nice with a collared shirt, pants, and this couple showed up.
Which, if you go back to my parents, back in their day, I'd have dressed like a slob. Even though it was a nice collared shirt, jeans, I mean, nice everything, but because they dressed collared shirts, jacket, ties, slacks.
Right.
Yeah.
It was resort casual.
Yeah.
Is what is the term that they use at how we dress. I remember this couple showed up, nice steakhouse. It was a shoeless. They showed up in tank tops and shorts. And I'm like, that's not how you dress for a steakhouse. Not for a nice one. Maybe for the Sizzler. Not for a 4-star.
Or like Golden Corral.
Yeah. Like, there's just, like you said, it's the pride. You just,
I mean, I just, yeah, I really don't understand that. Should all take pride in ourselves. All want to dress nice. All want to look nice. But we are just sliding off down that slide
Well,
and it's gotten worse every year.
Well, there was that incident.
Because, like you said,
yeah,
you start accepting it. We start accepting more, then it starts more, and then we're accepting more. Next thing you know, from 100, we're down to 5.
Well, there was an incident just happened just recently that kind of made the news here in Orlando. It was a very nice restaurant at Disney, and the guy's actually a vice president of a company, so he's a high end up. He showed up at this restaurant in swim trunks, and this place has a strict dress policy, and they told him he couldn't dine there, and he ended up punching the maitre d, and he got escorted out.
Maitre d's probably a rich man right now.
Yeah, well, I know the company made a big statement like he's on leave of absence right now because we don't
leave of absence and hand me a freaking hand me a check.
Yeah, because it goes to show that even people of higher standards can also dress like slobs too, because you would never expect a VP of a company to dress like a slob. Well, this even on vacation, he dressed like a slob because he showed up in swim trunks, expecting to dine at a very nice place.
Oh, that's called entitlement.
Yeah.
Because I am just better than everyone else, because I'm a VP of XYZ company, because I'm so much better than you common people. Yeah, that's exactly where that comes from.
Well, there's a lot of people think they're entitled to stuff. It's not even just higher ups. That could be another podcast.
Entitlements?
Yeah.
But talking about dressing, guys, in my 20s, I pretty much got every job I went after. And a big reason why is I dressed in a suit. I mean, a big reason why I got it is I dressed in a suit and handed in a resume, which is pride. Took pride in how I looked, took pride in how I presented myself. The stories I would hear about the way people present themselves in interviews, I always go back to that because I've heard it before. T-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. How does a company look at someone like that and say, oh, yeah, that man's got pride? And then, yeah, I don't know. I just think there's a lot to be said in how you, dress to impress. There's a lot to be said in how you dress.
Actually, because I worked in healthcare, I actually was doing what they call like a lateral move, but we had to interview for it. I was actually on the job. I was in my scrubs, and it was time for the interview, and I just had to go across the hall. I actually changed into a really nice, like interview style dress, like a business suit, skirt type of thing. And I went across the hall. They're like, "Wait a minute, you changed?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's an interview, right?" I actually think I got the job because they were impressed that I actually took an extra moment in time to change into business attire to do this interview.
Exactly the same in the fire service. When you go to promote lieutenants, battalion chiefs, assistant chiefs, even if you're on duty wearing the normal uniform, you go and you change into a suit and you present yourself in the best possible manner you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't go in your uniform and be like, well, I'm working and this is what I...
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, because even my boss said by me doing that, it showed that I was actually serious about getting that position. It showed that I was responsible. It sounds weird that making that little change in my outfit, but it showed that I was serious and I was responsible enough.
It says a lot in a handshake. You know how many people have no handshake whatsoever?
Oh,
what do they call it, like a dead fish or something? I think that's what they nickname it. It's like, yeah, people just hand over a limp wrist, and it's like, hey, where's a handshake? You give a good, nice, solid handshake. Trust me, that's memorable. People remember that. People, especially going for positions or whatever, you give a good handshake, that guy remembers it, because the majority of people do not. It's ridiculous.
I wonder too about the whole thing about the dressing up for an interview and all that. This younger generation, they don't have social skills. I wonder if that all goes hand in hand too.
You're right, with Zoom interviews and Xbox and PlayStation all the time, and especially after COVID, you hear the horror stories of how social skills were set back years because kids couldn't be in school.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids believe it or not, enjoy going to school because that's where their friends are.
Right.
Their social life. And you know what? Even in school, for example, had to wear long pants. We could wear t-shirts, but I always wore collar. But you couldn't wear shorts. You had to wear shoes or sneakers. Couldn't wear flip-flops. They had a dress code, a minimal dress code. But then you get to private schools that a lot of them have a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
They want us all to look alike, so nobody can complain about how much the other person has over you.
Yeah, but there was little ways around it. At least with girls, they figured out how to alter that uniform just slightly. They knew little ways around it. But
still the same colors.
Yeah.
Skirt or slacks with women, I remember. I should say skirts to the knee.
Yeah.
No mini skirts here.
No, it wasn't like the Britney Spears video where she's wearing that the guy's fantasy. That didn't exist. And if it was, you got in trouble. You were in the principal's office and your parents were called. That is part of the problem too. Like the parents don't discipline too. You see these little kids anymore. I mean, I've seen some of the fashion on the little kids. Oh my God, that's what a 30-year-old woman would wear, not an 8-year-old.
Well, that'd be another podcast we were talking earlier is who's raising your kids?
Mm-hmm.
Is it you? I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, they're too busy trying to be their friend and not their parent.
That's another problem. Friends and but we're getting off topic.
Yes, we are.
How about slobs?
Slobs. But
you probably know a few.
Mm-hmm. I know a few, and I'm not ashamed to admit that at one point I was one. But like I said, mine went with depression, and then I started and even recently, as I started to take care of myself again, I'm like, you know what? I'm dressing to impress again because that's when I feel the best.
But I don't dress like a slob, but when I'm home, I wear comfy clothes. Right now it's cold here, so I'm wearing sweatpants, and I'll wear a nice warm shirt, and it doesn't have to be collared, but just something comfy. We all got comfy clothes.
Well, yeah, even my comfy clothes look nice.
But yeah, I agree with that. Even comfy clothes are good.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to wear
I don't have the white beaters with the holes in it and the yellow stains.
And if I do wear something that's got stains on it, it's usually the ones because it's from Vic Sav from being sick.
My Pixie finding a nice warm spot.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know what? Everybody can, like I said, everybody can dress the way you want, but when is dressing like a slob? When is it not acceptable?
When do we see it is dressing like a slob? When do we see people being slobs?
And I don't mean Walmart.
And I just mean dressing. We know there's a lot of other things with people being, unclean and messy and all that. Yeah, that's slob there. But we're just talking about going out. How do people dress? How they present themselves to the public? In your opinion, when are people slobs and when they're not? Because I guarantee you, when I look at somebody, they're a slob. Deanna might disagree, like, almost there, but not quite. Yeah, so it's all an opinion.
Sometimes it's fun to go, like we'll go to Disney Springs just to sit there and people watch. Like, wow.
Love people watching.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially when you see what people wear. Like, wow, I like her dress. And you're like, you got to be kidding me. They wore what?
Many times I say, oh, she or he should not be wearing that.
Yep. Yeah. There's been a few of those too. So we love your feedback. And if you guys have any suggestions from when we got off topic you'd like to see, let us know. Or if you have any, when you think you've seen a slob and you like to comment on it, share your story. We're all for it.
Your opinion.
Your opinion.
When somebody is dressed, what makes them a slob to your eyes?
Yeah. What do you think defines a slob? Is it the pajamas at the grocery store or pajamas at a concert? Let us know. Yeah. I've seen a few pajamas at a concert.
But and we're just talking about dressing, going out, looking like a slob, not being a slob in the house
Right.
or apartment or wherever you live.
Right. So until the next time, thank you again. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast channel. We're on Spotify. We're on a few other things like YouTube and Facebook. So thanks.
Thank you for listening.
Bye bye.